So I had a question on this platform about what you can do if you have a fear of your intuitive skills developing because of your fear of spirits. So I thought I'd give this question an answer. And so the three things that came to mind. The first was to go and see someone who is able to see what you're experiencing. So whether this is a shaman, a psychic, or whatnot, or a teacher in a different field that's just very intuitive. Because in the message you put ghosts, but I was immediately thinking, well, is it ghosts or is it entities? Are there lots of entities that are stuck around your family members? Perhaps there's a lot of trauma or negativity, toxicity in the family. So you could be picking up on that, because there are certain things that can, ghosts are something we know about, but there are other things that can feel like a sort of a shadowy entity, sense of something in the space that's not necessarily a ghost. An example of this was, I had a client not long ago, and when we started the session, I started to feel as though they were surrounded by these humans that were dripping in mud. It was as though there were zombies all around them, and I was just thinking, oh my gosh, what on earth is this? And it was the collective trauma of souls that had lost their lives due to war on the land, and she was connected in with that. It had attached itself to her, so that needed clearing. So sometimes it's it's not necessarily a ghost, it could be something else. So first of all, get the help of someone that can help you to unpick what it is you're sensing. And then secondly, with the fear, I would say that's some internal healing work to do, because there might be some shame that's still hanging around in relation to the memory of what your family has said to you about what you're encountering, and that you shouldn't be developing those skills. I know for myself, I've had a session where I had a vow to not go anywhere near my psychic skills, for example, and that needed clearing because it was blocking me. So sometimes we can have these unconscious fears, or quite conscious ones, that we need to work with in a subconscious way, that we're getting to the mind and emotions in an energetic way. And you could do that in lots of different forms and modalities, as long as you're able to tackle that specifically. Maybe it's a hypnosis or whatever. And then finally, training. So if you've got this intuitive ability, I feel like it's much more scary to have a sense of something and then not know what it is, and therefore not know how to deal with it. So this is where you need to go back to the first point, which is to figure out exactly what it is that you're picking up. And then you'll start to learn how you can manage it. So if it is an entity, for example, I call in help and it gets cleared, so then you might also have a gift. When we've got intuitive skills, we can have particular leanings. So one of our leanings might be that we're really in touch with the energies of nature, and then we can use that as a force for good in our work. Or it's almost like crystals speak to us, or we're channeling star consciousness energy, or we're really in touch with angels, whatever it is. But we have to kind of learn what the gift is. And one of your gifts might be, this sounds a little bit different, but it might be that you're able to connect in with loved ones that have passed over. And that's not my realm. That's not my personal interest. Sometimes those encounters come into sessions where they're coming in and healing the client, and that's always very beautiful, or there might be a message or two, but that's much more rare. And I know that my skill set, my interest is working on a multi-dimensional level, ancestral, past lives, whatever. So it's I'm kind of diminishing it, whatever. But yeah, so that would be my advice as a starting point, and see where you go.